Our top story at this hour, Cyclone Fani is just 80 kilometers away from Odisha. The cyclone is expected to make a landfall in India's eastern state of Odisha in a few hours from now. Now, according to the latest update provided by India's Met Department, it currently lies, in fact, 65 kilometers from Gopalpur. The storm is being dubbed as the most severe cyclonic storm since the super cyclone of 1999 that killed over 10,000 people. The wind speed is expected, in fact, to be between 170 and 180 kilometers an hour, which can even reach up to 200 kilometers when it makes the landfall around 9:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time. A storm surge of about 1.5 meters or 5 feet could hit Odisha and flood low-lying areas. The process of landfall is, in fact, expected to take around 5 hours. Now, around 10,000 villages and more than 50 towns lie in the path of the cyclone evacuations. Now, the evacuations, in fact, are being conducted on a war footing across 11 coastal districts of Odisha. People are, in fact, being shifted to 4,000 storm shelters. Almost 1 million people have already been evacuated to temporary shelters. All flights from Bhubaneswar have been cancelled from midnight. Kolkata airport will be shut between 9:30 p.m. today to till 6 p.m. tomorrow. The Railways has cancelled more than 200 trains that pass along the coast. On Saturday, the cyclone is likely to, in fact, move along the Bengal coast towards Bangladesh. When it comes to Andhra Pradesh, 3 districts are likely to be affected. The Navy, Air Force and the National Disaster Response Force and the Coast Guard are on standby. The NDRF has deployed 28 teams in Odisha, 12 in Andhra Pradesh and 6 teams in West Bengal. 2 ships and 2 Chetak helicopters are already, in fact, pressed into service. Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik has asked senior officers to oversee relief rescue operations. Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister N. Chandrababu Naidu has also reviewed his officials' preparedness and promised all possible help to Odisha. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has chaired a high-level meeting to review the preparedness levels of state authorities. This meeting, in fact, was attended by several other high-level officials. A PM was briefed on the likely path of the cyclone and the ongoing precautionary measures. And joining us for more on this is WION's correspondent Pooja Mehta on the phone line. In fact, she's getting us live updates from Kolkata and East India. Now, Pooja, Fani is just 80 kilometers away from Odisha coast. And in fact, the Indian authorities are exercising extreme precaution and they are stepping up their preparations ahead of the cyclone. Take us through all the precautions ahead of the powerful cyclone which is about to make its landfall in India.
A very good morning to you, Shivangi. Remember, this is going to be a major cyclone as it is being called a very severe cyclonic storm, and Cyclone Fani is going to enter Odisha in a few hours from now. Remember, West Bengal too is bracing for a major impact because once it makes a landfall at Odisha, it is going to further move towards the coast of West Bengal. Remember, West Bengal faced a major impact in the 2009 Ayla cyclone, where several people lost their lives. And the Met Department is saying that perhaps this is going to be more serious than the Ayla cyclone, because when the Ayla cyclone had hit West Bengal in 2009, the speed was close to 110 to 112 kilometers per hour. But remember, this cyclonic storm, Fani, after it makes a landfall in Odisha and moves towards the coast of Bengal, it is going to hit the coast of West Bengal approximately at 120 kilometer per hour speed. Hence, the state administration of West Bengal had chaired a high-level meeting. The chief secretary himself held a high-level meeting with all the stakeholders like Coast Guard, Navy, State Police, Coastal Security, to ensure there is no loss of life and damage to property. Remember, the Coast Guard has deployed its major assets like Dornier aircraft and hovercraft to prevent any loss of life. As many as 6 NDRF teams have been deployed across the coast of West Bengal, where the cyclonic storm Fani is going to hit. Besides that, the state disaster management groups, the SDRF, and other state agencies have also been deployed. And let me take you across the coastline of West Bengal. Remember, there are tourist spots across the coast of West Bengal like Digha, Mandarmani and Bokhali in the East Midnapur district. East Midnapur district officials have sounded an alert and they've asked all the tourists to not to venture into sea. The fishermen have also been advised not to venture into the sea. And right now, the entire beach is being manned by all of these agencies so that there is no loss of life. Shivangi?
Right, Pooja. Of course, the entire East India is bracing for Cyclone Fani. Also, Pooja, how much will these precautions, how much will they really affect daily life there in East India?
Well, absolutely. If you take the example of Puri, close to 8 lakh people have been evacuated. All the fishermen living across the coastline have been evacuated and have been taken to the shelter that have been set up by the Puri state administration and also to the makeshift camps, because a lot of people reside across the coastline of Puri, and to prevent any loss of life, they have been taken to all the higher lying areas and to shelters and camps so that they are not affected. However, the Met Office has predicted massive damage. They're saying that all these, dangerous buildings or buildings that have been declared dangerous, all the kacha houses could be destructed, could be destroyed in the cyclone. Because remember, when we're talking about gusty winds going close to 150 to 200 kilometers per hour, it is going to be extremely dangerous. Trees will be uprooted, light poles and electricity poles will be uprooted. Hence, be it West Bengal or Odisha, both the state authorities have taken highest precautionary measures to prevent any loss of life and damage to property.
Right, Pooja. Thank you for joining us with all those details. We'll be coming back to you as this cyclone, of course, approaches East India. Now, like our correspondent Pooja Mehta said, the Indian Navy and the Coast Guard are on high alert on account of Cyclone Fani. 3 ships are already out to sea carrying humanitarian aid, relief material and medicine. These are images on your screen of an Indian naval warship around 150 kilometers south of the eye of the cyclonic storm. The angle of the ship's deck in the foreground demonstrate how rough the waters are right now. One image also shows how the quarter deck of the ship is partially submerged. Now let's